Welcome, everyone! In Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, the DM has quite a difficult task. Amongst other things, they have to take care of combats. The players only have to worry about one character. The DM has to worry about many monsters and the players. Keeping track of the initiative order itself, but more importantly, what are all the different statuses in effect? What spells have been cast on who? What are the different notes about what's going on to remember? It's a lot to keep track of, so a tool can be very helpful. Kobold Helper is such a tool. Amongst other things, it can help you with combat tracking. So we go to koboldhelper.com, and as we see here, it starts off from the perspective of the player, trying to welcome the player and make it easy for them to join one of your sessions. But we want to get into setting up a session, so we simply click Set Up as a DM. We get a bunch of new options for things, but we're going to focus on combat today. Setting up a combat and getting that rolling quickly. Now, when your players join your session, they can bring their character details with them, and it'll automatically be added. You don't have to do it that way. You, as the DM, can add the party members and punch in all those details, and your players can simply watch if that's what you want to do. But what we're going to do is have the player bring their character, in this case, and so then we just need to worry about the monsters. We click Add Monsters. We get a nice gallery of the SRD content. We have a form over here where we can punch in a custom monster if that's what we want to do, but it's a lot easier. Let's say we want to add some orcs and just find orc. Click it. It's giving you a nice overview of the CR rating, so I can, as I'm adding monsters, I can be kind of keeping in the back of my head, I want to make it just a little bit harder in what I'm doing. Anyway, it gives a unique name, rolls the hit points, add a second one. Add a third orc maybe. And you know what? Let's add a troll. Quickly look up a troll. There we go. Troll. Very easy, very quick. It's keeping track of the total CR, which is a hint to me as the DM to understand how challenging this encounter is, and maybe I want to balance it. As the players join and bring their characters in, it will compute up the CR for the party, and then I can make a last-minute decision as to whether or not to take away a monster, add a monster, whatever I feel like I need to do. Let's add this troll. And now if we flip back to combat, we got all our monsters lined up and ready to go. Got their armor class prominently here, very handy. As their heroes are rolling, I can, instead of having to flip around and look in things, I can just tell you hit, you missed. Very handy. But to get going, I simply have to pick a session code. It's anything you want. It's just you just want to try to pick something that's going to be unique for you. You don't want to overlap with somebody else that's using the tool. Something like Zombie 14 should do fine. Hit setup. It goes green. That means you are broadcasting. Tell your players to go to koboldhelper.com and join Zombie 14. So if I flip over to this tab, this will be from the perspective of a player at their own browser. They're going to see the welcome, and this is where they can punch in their own character details quickly. I've got Alina already punched in. They put in their values for purposes of, so the tool knows how to track things, hit points, armor class, initiative mod. It can roll initiative for you, as we'll see. And then simply hit add. It puts it in local browser storage, so every session it'll remember your character and you won't have to punch it in every time. So again, as the combat's going along, and so perhaps you drop your shield. So, you know, Alina is really supposed to have a 16. Alina drops her shield. The player can be responsible for doing an update, and it makes it really easy. One less thing for the DM to have to remember to deal with. All right, anyway, the point is, we're ready to... DM says it's combat time. Punch in the code, hit join. Green means I'm connected. Please wait for the DM to start. We're ready to go. I'm going to flip back from the perspective of the DM. I can now see Alina is joined, ready to go. I can make my decision on how I want to handle initiative. Have the tool auto-roll everything. Really quick, really easy. That's how I like to do it. Preserve initiative over rounds. Again, very straightforward. Keeps things quick. That's how I like to do it. You can easily turn those off. You can manually punch in the initiatives, and you can redo it every round. The tool will support you if you want to do that. We're going to go with these options for now. So I'm ready to go. I hit start. Bam. Initiative is rolled for all the monsters and the heroes, and the first monster is up with initiative 19, Orc 1. So now what we're seeing is the controls where I can put down all the different combat effects as they occur, and those will be broadcast out to the players using handy icons. So for example, perhaps Orc 1 has advantage, and maybe Orc 1 is for some reason hovering 20 feet. And these are things I don't want to have to keep telling people, reminding my players. I don't want to forget myself, so the tool is going to keep track of them. Likewise, we got a nice summary of the content for Orc. I can do quick lookups without having to flip through books or other pages. Now, the next thing is we have a nice dice roller. I want to roll to hit with my Orc. I click on the D20. I put in the 5 that I just got from that content. I click roll. The dice shake. I rolled a 3 modified by a 5 for an 8. The point is that's now broadcast out to all my watching players, and so they're up to date with that the DM rolled, and this is what the result was. So I hit advanced turn, and we're off to Troll 1. Now if we flip back to the player, again we can see that everyone's being reminded that Orc 1 has advantage, and that for some reason Orc 1 is hovering in the air 20 feet. And that can help people make decisions about what they want to do. And again, I as the DM don't have to keep reminding people. All right, let's punch in some of the different status effects so you can see how it looks. You've got stunned. You've got enchanted. Maybe Orc 1 is for some reason blessed. Orc 1 is slowed. Each one having a unique prominent icon to make it easy at a glance to remember what's going on with Troll 1. Health effects. A lot of DMs like to broadcast to their players when a monster looks, as it's called, bloodied, under 50% health. And I've also got one for under 25 when you're on your last legs, swaying and wobbling. So under 50%. So again, also apply damage. Don't make me do the math. That's the last thing I want to be thinking about. So if I'm going to do 16 damage, don't make me do the math. Just do it for me. That's the under 25% health. And I'll show for this one, we're going to do 9 damage, and you get the yellow, which is the bloodied effect. And these will be broadcast out to the players. Advantage to be hit, fairy fire. Private notes, again, has axe +1. Something I want to remember as a DM, but I don't want broadcast to my players necessarily. You got a little lock icon there. And the last thing I'll mention is if the damage goes below 0 for monsters, it automatically goes to the dead state. If I want to resurrect the Orc for some reason, I unclick that, it goes to unconscious, whatever I want to do. Same sort of things for all the characters. So maybe Alina has disadvantage for some reason. The point is, as I advance the combat, these are all being remembered and tracked and communicated to all the players, so the players can start to make decisions about what the heck is going on. If I advance to Alina, I'll just point out that when it's the player's turn that is watching on the browser, along with seeing a summary of what's going on with them and any notes, the player can proactively end their turn and move the combat along, rather than me as a DM having to ask, are you done yet? Are you done yet? As soon as Alina's done, wham, we go on to Orc 1, and it keeps things moving quick. Okay, I think that is a nice summary of what Kobold Helper can do for you to help track combats. If you think this tool is helpful and you like what it's doing for you, feel free to head over to the Patreon page, throw a couple pennies at me to keep things focused, help me motivated to keep adding features. Go to the help page. We've got kobold.helper@gmail.com. You can send an email there. You got an idea for a feature that you think would be helpful. You feel like you found a bug. You're just confused about how something works. Shoot an email and I'll be happy to get back to you. All right. So that's all. KoboldHelper.com, totally free web app, nothing to install, no need to even sign up. Give it a try. All right, thanks everybody.